Last time on Dice Funk.
I did not put that dagger away. It is on the floor in the church.
Captain of the city guard's been killed.
Oh, shit.
Nobody's quite sure what happened, but somebody seen a fella punch him sometime earlier.
Does the club have a name?
The club is called The Twist. You can't possibly be this big a dimwit.
You've successfully convinced him you're a drooling moron.
Yeah.
This half-elf overhears, quits talking to Blister. The plan was that we'd have a couple of patsies to pin this whole affair on and get away clean. Much, much cleaner than the floor downstairs. Everybody, meet Allana. So Alana's looking for, she's got a pet mouse, Squeak. The ferret pokes its head in the window, bites into the captive, and tries to haul him out the window.
Oh, fuck no.
Allana has such a strong grip, she comes with.
That would be great. If you go back there, they'll kill you.
And casts Speak to Animals. Squeak says he wants to get fancy cheese at the church.
And as you get closer and closer and closer to the church, you are absolutely certain that you begin to smell smoke. So this might be a little difficult for you to edit, just so you're aware.
Podcasting is hard.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we'll begin.
Last time on Dice Funk, burning down the house by talking heads is gonna get edited in here because something's on fire.
Yeah, that's true.
What do we see, Johnny? Set a scene.
Shall we set the scene?
Yeah.
Well, as I recall, we directly left you traveling via giant ferret over the rooftops of Stoneroot to return to the church. And as you got to the neighborhood, the acrid scent of smoke invaded your nostrils.
Yeah, Akron is pretty smelly. Fuck you, Ohio.
Wow.
So the closer and closer that you get to the church, the more intense the smell of smoke is, until visually you can confirm the fact that there is a large plume of smoke exuding from outside of the church. And judging from the large crowd of people who have gathered around it, you're willing to bet that indeed, yes, the church has been set on fire. However, from just like initial surmising of the actual scene, you can't see like flames licking out the window. It's not exactly a blazing inferno, and city staffers and volunteers appear to have most of it under control. You can see people walking in and out of the church, attending to whatever it is inside that is smoking. You do, however, get a moment of pause because, obviously, as any fire in a city would, it's acquired a lot of official attention, and the place is rather laden with guards. But near the edge of the courtyard in front of the church, by a crowd of people who look as though they have been evacuated, you see Danyan lingering, holding on to a slightly singed piece of paper in his hand, and a look of concern on his face.
Oh, Rinaldo, you have to stay here because they're looking for you. You should, cut off your mustache and get rid of it.
I will not do either of those things.
You should do something to make yourself look different. In the meantime, you stay here with Marshmallow. Me and Allana have to go help. We have to go help people.
All right. Ronaldo puts on his Groucho glasses and becomes filet mignon.
Didn't you already have those when you went? I think that's how you went into the twist.
Yeah, but he got punched around.
Okay.
Remember?
Okay, so you're filet mignon again, but you're not changing out if you're like giant pimp hat or iconic purple coat or anything?
How? He doesn't have extra clothes.
Yes, you do. Your pack, everyone starts with extra clothes in your pack.
Ronaldo feels really uncomfortable with this idea. So he does not. He feels like he's disguised enough, And he knows what he's doing. Okay, it's worked before.
All right. Well, if Johnny's going to call for a disguise check, you do get proficiency to disguise because of your charlatan thing. So you're going to get an extra +3 to that charisma roll. But that's on you, dog.
It is. Look, I don't think it's a good idea. I just think it's what Rinaldo would do.
Okay. Anne grabs Allana's hand and pulls her over to the edge of the building, and it's going to start trying to clamber down to go help people outside the church.
Okay, sure. She's gonna roll with it.
All right. We're going down.
All right. Down and down the building you clamber on Marshmallow.
No, we left. No, hold your horse. We left Marshmallow with Rinaldo because they are
No,
wanted as hell.
No, Austin. Okay. Austin, you missed the obvious joke. Hold your ferret. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's my ferret. It's not Johnny's ferret. I would never give him to Marshmallow. He's my sweet little boy. He's mine. He's my little buddy.
How are you getting down the building then?
Climbing as best we can. I assume we're gonna have. Yeah, listen, dog. It's not a good plan. I assume acrobatics checks are coming because we have to fall at a certain point.
We're high. We're on the roof.
Yeah, and I'm gonna grab the edge, like dangle my little feet down, try to climb until I fall.
You're gonna die so hard. This
is so not going to work, but okay.
Listen, we're 21 hours in. Anne has taken 1 point of damage the entire game, and it was deliberately self-inflicted.
That is true. Meanwhile, I died.
Acrobatics check.
Rinaldo. While this is happening, Rinaldo takes out a piece of paper and starts scribbling on it.
Leon, out of character, you should sleep. You haven't slept in 24 hours.
Yeah, but there's a fire and people are looking for me.
Yeah, and you and Marshmallow are just chilling on a roof. I got 12 on acrobatics, by the way. I'm just gonna interrupt my own sentence. 12 on acrobatics.
Jess?
Oh.
Are you scrambling down the building with your new little halfling friend?
No, I'm going to watch to make sure she doesn't get hurt first, then I'll scramble down. Like, I'm not a dumbass, come on.
Alright, so Austin, you grab onto the ledge, you dangle your little legs over the side, but sort of like manage to hold your head kind of up above the top, and in a very encouraging voice you say to Allana, "Look, it's much easier going down than it is coming up," and then just kind of like let go of both your hands.
Oh no!
Spider-Ann.
I can't remember what we said about falling damage last game.
It was a 1d10 for every 10 feet.
1d10 for every 10 feet.
We'll
be charitable and say that you're only on a 2-story building.
Well, remember, that was like a dead fall. Acrobatics, I'm trying to like tuck and roll.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You clearly didn't.
So we'll say that it's a 2-story building and that you managed to mitigate a little bit damage, so we'll take 1d10.
All right. Well, a 12 isn't... Okay, I don't know if we...
I like how Austin's going to argue this.
The joke here, alright, okay, it's not necessarily a joke, Austin. You get about halfway down is what I'm saying. But just for the sake of comedy.
Yeah.
We'll say that you were like, I've got a plan! And then just kind of like, let yourself go.
Okay, I'm rolling this d10 for damage.
Oh,
1.
It's not bad.
I take a single point of... I have taken 2 points of damage now.
Masterfully done.
I just want to point out for listeners, or if you do not know, like we throw numbers out there, most things, especially in 5th edition, are on a scale from 1 to 20. 10 is average, 20 is perfect, 1 is like abysmal. So a 12 isn't like super impressive, but it's above average, right? It's not a bad thing I rolled.
Allana races to the edge to just kind of like, look down and expecting to see something with the consistency of maybe pudding. And is actually quite surprised to see you, having dropped pretty much 2 floors, standing spryly on your feet with your arms up in the air like you just dropped straight down, and just yell up, "See?"
Okay.
Anne is the only one who can hurt Anne, and she's not even good at that.
Alright, so I guess I'll try and go down. Nope. I just rolled a 5.
And you're a rogue. That's your thing.
I know.
Okay,
That's considerably less than average.
so you sort of mistakenly look down and see this like halfling standing on her feet and just be like, Whoa, I guess it must really not be that difficult. And promptly kind of like pitch over the edge in a way that might be considered foolhardy. Roll 1d10, please, Jess.
1.
Wow.
This is highly improbable.
The one time you won a botch, we do it twice in a row.
Oh my god, that's great.
You hit the ground with a bit of a thud, and the soles of your feet kind of hurt a little bit because, you didn't necessarily absorb the impact in, the knees, say, like you should.
Right.
You didn't do one of those, superhero, Spider-Man landings where you, hit the ground with your fist and then slowly get up. You just kind of go, smack! And go, ow!
Anne runs up, puts her hands on Allana, and casts Cure Wounds. You get 4 health back.
Hooray! So I'm at... Okay, so I lost 1, so I'm at 6. So I'm at 10. That's awesome.
Okay.
Between sessions, Allana did go to level 2, so she has more max health to play with. But she hasn't healed, so...
Rinaldo gets bored with what he's doing and then sleeps on Marshmallow as a pillow.
That's what he's there for. My 2 beautiful boys getting some Z's.
Okay. So you find yourself on the ground now, kind of at the outskirts of the courtyard in front of the church. And you're not too far away from where Daniel is, just kind of looking after everybody, doing head counts, making people are okay.
Yeah, Anne runs up to Daniel and says, "What happened?"
He looks not shocked, but a little bit distressed. And he holds out the note that he's got in his hand. That's just a little bit singed to you.
What's it say?
You grab the note, and while you look at it, he says, "This was pinned to the front door with a knife."
Damn you, Martin Luther!
The note reads on it, "I know you're going to want to do something, but you'd better remember that just because we don't want to hurt you doesn't mean we won't hurt plenty people you know. How's dear old Dad, by the way?" And it's signed, the Stonerotten.
That's what we need. More characters, more factions.
No, just for we hadn't clarified this, I don't think, in a previous episode about the name of the gang.
Oh dang! Yes.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it now because that hasn't really come up because nobody's been like, "Hey, what's the name of your gang?"
I definitely asked.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
I know that you asked for the name of the club, but I don't recall anybody asking about the name of the gang.
No, I asked because I
yeah.
wanted them to be the Tunnel Snakes. I was really excited about us fighting the Tunnel Snakes. But no, I could just have Anne ask, in character, she'd be like, "Who's that?" And Daniel can be like, "Oh, isn't that Tamsin's gang or whatever?"
Okay. Yeah, it is revealed. Daniel reveals that it's Emma's sister's gang.
Cool. Is anybody hurt? Do you need help? I can heal.
He says that no, that nobody appears to be hurt, and actually very little damage has actually been done. He says that upon entering earlier in the night, about, say, 45 minutes to half an hour ago, upon entering the main room of worship, he noticed that some very strategic fires had been set. Not necessarily to do any real damage, because it wasn't obviously in one big place to create a giant blaze. Most of them were just set around to ignite small things. So there's a couple of pews, some tapestries, cloth and wood, mostly causing superficial damage. The stone structure of the church itself kind of makes it unconducive to fire. So Daniel says that it's obvious that the fire was set as a statement, not as an actual attempt to destroy.
Okay, so question. I have 2 questions, actually. 1, did I actually know anything about this? And 2, I obviously know the name of the gang, but do I know what they do outside of the twist?
You're aware of the fact that they're not the savoriest characters in town, considering that like the Twist is very famous as one of the biggest brothels in the city,
Right.
essentially. So you know that, surprise, surprise, it's not run by the most savory of characters, but they don't necessarily keep you up to date on exactly what's going on. So this kind of comes as a little bit of a surprise for you, but then at the same time, not so much, because you're well aware of the friction between Tamsin and her twin sister Emma.
Also, you overheard someone talking about a kidnappee in the basement last episode.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, maybe you overheard that. Maybe you were paying attention, maybe you weren't. I don't know.
You said it. I heard it. I listened. Does anybody else listen to this show? It's pretty good.
No, I listen to it after we're done because I get bored at work. And yes, I do remember that.
Leon, you should probably roll hit dice to heal, because you're not going to get a full 8 hours up there.
Well, how long? Well, I don't know how long I'm going to be up here, because so far I'm still here alone. So
A short rest is anything if you get an hour of not doing anything, and that counts like it's not just sleep. So
what I'm trying to say is, until Rinaldo is woken, he's not waking up. So I'm just going to play this, because for all I know, you guys are going to get jumped, and he's just going to be up there all night.
Sorry. So question. Do I know, does Danian know who I am or not, is the question that I would ask, I guess.
Not by name, directly, no.
But he knows who I am.
He has no idea, what your personal associations are. It's a big city, Jess. You blend in.
that would be pretty saucy if the priest was like, "Oh, hey,
Allana, what are you doing here?
who's my favorite girl?" Like, what you doing? Oh, Daniel, you rapscallion. We're gonna have to be very careful not to slut shame Allana, because I think she's totally cool, as a character thing, and light fun poking might go too far. I'm gonna try to be good.
I agree.
All right, so Anne's dumb. Allana, do you want to suggest? You have the highest intelligence on our party. Again, I'm sorry, Jess.
Oh, God, really? Jeez.
Would you like to suggest a course of action?
Wait, seriously? Okay, my intelligence is 12. What the fuck?
Mine's 3. Marshmallow's is 3.
Rinaldo is 11, which is almost the same, but he's way the heck over on the roof, so he can't.
Oh my God, how do I keep rolling to have the best intelligence in this party? God! Okay. I look at Danian and I look at what's going on, and I look at Anne and I go, is this where you came from?
Okay, I'm from Thin Mints.
Okay. I look at Danian and I go, so there was no warning, or it just you just walked in and it was just there, or?
He said, yes, I was in my office going over some of the reports of some of the survivors from the mining accident, and I heard a shout, and when I wandered into the main room, some fires had been set. It looked as though it could have turned into a dangerous situation, but they didn't make a secret of the fires being there, and it was kind of just enough to affect everybody's breathing. So we sent runners off to the local constabulary and decided to exit. And right now, I believe some of the city guard are inside, making sure that there aren't anybody left over. But by my head count, everybody seems to have exited just fine, and we'll probably just have to assess the damage tomorrow. But I can't see this stopping operation in church for much longer than a day.
And says, "Oh, so wait, if these stone guys are Tamsin's people, and we think Tamsin kidnapped Ulick, that means that this note is referring to Ulick when it says about your father thing, right?"
Danian looks at the note with a little bit of a concerned look in his face and says, I actually believe that this is directed at Emma.
We don't know where Emma is.
Nor do I. I haven't seen her since she left the church earlier today.
Did you show that note to the guards? Do they know where these people are?
He looks at both of you kind of with a pleading expression on his face and says, "In the past, the city guard hasn't been much help on this matter. And as I understand it, one of their best got cut down in the line of duty earlier tonight.
Wait, what do you mean?
The head of the guard, Fidrick, was found just outside the quarry with his throat slashed."
What?
He kind of looks at you with his eyebrows up and says, "Yes, I can't believe that you didn't hear it."
Well, I've been working, but I mean, I would have assumed that.
No, Fridrick's my friend. He's okay.
He puts his hand on your shoulder and kind of gets down on his haunches, as well as a man of his decrepit age can, and looks at you as though, an adult trying to tell a kid that their pet dog has died, and says, "I'm sorry, but he isn't."
Anne slowly starts to cry.
Roll to cry.
Roll to cry.
I kind of look down at her and I get on my knees and I hug her.
Aww.
I try to hug her and as affectionately as I can, but she's very awkward about it because she doesn't know Anne. So she's awkward about it because she's like, well, this person is crying, so I guess pat, 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 it's okay, pat, pat.
So yeah, Anne's crying, you're consoling her, Rinaldo and Marshmallow are sleeping. Does anybody have an idea to advance the plot?
Oh, I do, but Ronaldo's asleep.
Do I, as Allana, know where Emma lives or where Tamsin used to live?
No, you don't.
Okay.
But you know that this is your organization, right?
Yeah, I do know. But like Johnny said, I don't know that much. I just am told,
This is news to you, but having heard it now, you can, you get to decide your own moral judgments about...
Yeah.
How tolerant you are of your girls doing this.
Allana is true neutral, so she's not beholden to any gods or laws unless she wants to be.
Still, it's a church burning, so...
All right. Let's when Anne calms down, she's going to go back to Marshmallow and Rinaldo, just kind of sadly on her own. That's what's happening.
Shall we just say that that you wander over to the building, and in dispense of rolling to climb, we'll just say that you take your time and very laboriously work your way up the side of the building?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm in no hurry.
Yeah, because I don't want to have this whole, nope, you don't make it, nope, you don't make it, nope, you don't make it, oh, you made it.
Yep.
So we'll bypass that.
Great.
All right, so yeah, Allana, Anne, while still sniffling her little heart out, kind of slumps away back to where you emerged from out of the shadows, and does her best to attempt to climb a building that very obviously wasn't made to accommodate someone of a halfling size.
I'm gonna follow her, so I'm gonna also take my time making it up the building as well.
Okay, we'll dispense with the rolls and just say that you guys are, like I said, making doubly sure that as you ascend to the side of the building, you're not taking any risks and dropping your butts down a couple of floors.
All right, if they make it back to Rinaldo, then I guess that's just a short rest, so I'd like to roll a d10 to get some of my health back.
Yeah, I'm gonna say when I get to the top, I see them sleeping and don't wake them up immediately. I'm gonna let them get a little sleep first, and I think me and Allana are gonna have a conversation on the edge of the roof.
That sounds good.
All right, so Rinaldo healed a little bit.
So Anne climbs up the building and plumps her little tush down on the edge and kind of looks at the smoke wafting up out of the church, giving you very mixed feelings because usually fire is such a good thing. You really enjoy it, but there's a bittersweetness to this fire.
I'm a big fan of Avandra's cleansing fire, her holy light. This is sad fire.
Yep, sad fire. This is like a fire in your heart.
Oh my god.
That's the worst kind. But Allana, when you get to the top, are you going to sit down next to Anne?
Yeah.
All right. Anne's gonna like sniff a little bit and say, "Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I know your mouse's name's Squeak. What was your name? I kind of was busy smashing a chair and I don't know if I heard it."
Allana.
Hello.
Hi, you're Anne, right?
I am Anne.
I remember. That's what you said to me.
I'm a cleric of Avandra.
I don't know what an Avandra is.
Oh, she's a goddess of travel and luck and change.
That sounds like something we need right now.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I used to be a cleric of a different god, and she wasn't so good. Well, she was good. It just didn't. It's complicated. I don't think I don't think you care.
Well, in my experience, I find that most people have complicated lives.
Yeah, that's why everything's a lot simpler if you just set the bad stuff on fire and then you hug the good stuff.
So, am I good stuff or bad stuff?
Well, I hugged you, and you hugged me, so you seem pretty good.
Well, that's wonderful news.
Yeah.
So, what's the deal with him? And I point over at Rinaldo.
He's my friend. We helped some people get out of our hometown when it burned down.
Rinaldo wakes up.
Or do you?
There's a reason.
Uh-oh.
No, you can keep talking, but Rinaldo is technically awake now.
It's weird. I never actually saw him there before, even though I lived there my whole life. But he helped me get some people out of there, and he brought them over here. And then we tried to find this guy who got kidnapped. And then we got separated, and then he was tied to a chair. And I still don't know where my other friend is. She got lost. We were in some tunnels. It's been a weird couple of days.
What's your friend's name?
Rinaldo coughs really loud. And walks over to the...
So you cough, run over to try to stop something awesome from happening.
Right, and he says, okay, so, I don't know exactly what's going on, but this is what I do know. We need a posse. We need a proper posse to go kill Lord Erlin and Lonigan. So right now, we have me, which is great in and of itself. And we have Anne, Marshmallow, and this one. And I think we need to get Ulick and have him join our posse. Then we get Silas, and then we get Fidrick, and then we basically have enough people to storm the manor. Well, I'm sure Fidrick is just dying to join us. Well, he'll be grinning from ear to ear when he sees us. So,
first of all, fuck you.
Okay, Fidrick's dead, number one.
Anne starts crying again.
Oh my god.
Whatevs.
I start hugging Anne again, and I look at him and I say, Fidrick was found with his throat slashed by the quarry.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Did you do that?
Alright, well then we can still get Silas and find Ulick.
Okay, whoa. Before we do that, did you do that?
Did I do what?
To Fidrick.
Oh, no. I fake punched him, and then I left.
I just want to be clear, because remember Anne found Frederick in the street. I don't know if this was clear. She was like in denial until recently that he was dead. It's not like I forgot that she came across his body.
No, I know. But I'm just saying that it's like, I think Allana, because of what she saw in the brothel, is trying to figure out if Rinaldo actually did that too.
Then Rinaldo says this, how was he killed?
With his throat slashed.
Okay, well, I use bludgeoning weapons. So, and Anne knows that. So I don't do that. Also, why would I? He's on our side. I need him for our posse. But now he's dead.
Okay, so now what, I guess?
Alright, well, other people we can get to help us. Silas, that's one. But he's mostly just gonna be a guy to stab people for us. We need Ulick. We need to find Ulick. But I don't know where he is.
Can I, roll to... Is there, a roll for remembering? I'm not really sure.
No. There's no rules for remembering.
Oh, okay.
No, if you remember something, you can remember it.
Oh, well, I don't know, because...
This is the amazing thing about imagination.
Shut up, Johnny.
I mean, if you need something refreshed, you can just ask.
Okay, so I think... Allana thinks for a second, and she goes, wait a minute. There's somebody in the basement. And I look at Rinaldo. And then I say, of the twist.
Oh, well, maybe we should check that out.
Anne was only half listening, and she says, "Is it the person in the basement, the one who hurt Frederick?"
I don't think so. Maybe it's Jane.
Oh my god.
We have to go save her.
Okay. Alright. This is what Rinaldo does. He sort of like ushers Anne to the other side of the roof, to talk to her privately.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm excited about this conversation. Go on.
Alright. I want Allana to stay away. And also Marshmallow.
If you end up lit on fire, I will laugh so fucking hard.
Alright, well, we need to have this conversation. Alright, Anne, so, you know how sometimes when you meet someone and you think you know them, it turns out they're not the person you thought they were?
Like if you thought someone was your friend and then they did something that a friend wouldn't do and then you weren't friends anymore?
Yes, actually like that, kind of. Okay, so, and then Rinaldo starts to scratch his chin and tries to figure out how to explain this to someone with the mind of a child. So he takes out one dagger and his other dagger. And he says, okay, this dagger represents Jane. And this dagger represents me, Rinaldo. Okay?
Okay.
And then he starts moving them around like puppets. And he says, okay, so me and Jane went into the twist. And Rinaldo starts to like jiggle the daggers around and move them forward. See? We went
No, Jane got lost in the tunnels.
No, I found her. And we went into the twist, okay?
Oh.
We went inside, and then Jane said, and then Rinaldo uses a really, exaggerated voice to play the part of Jane, and uses really poor ventriloquy, where part of his mouth is clearly moving, and says, "Oh, Rinaldo, I'm going to betray you and sell you into sex slavery."
This is the best episode of the Muppets ever.
And then Rinaldo says, and then I said, and again, Rinaldo uses an exaggerated voice of his own voice and says, "No, you cannot do that, for I am Rinaldo. Why would you do this to me and also Anne in some way?" And then he moves the other knife and says, "Well, my motivations aren't exactly clear up until this point."
But they may become clear later. Who knows?
But I secretly hate you and also Anne. And then Rinaldo moves the other knife and says, "I will fight you for this." And then Anne, then we fought, and then Rinaldo sort of like clings the knives together and says, "But then it almost didn't go well. You see, because Jane threw dirt in my eyes." And I was blind. And
You were such an asshole!
I started swinging my morning stars around, and I hit her in the head really hard. And then Rinaldo like outstretches his arm with the Jane knife, and then just drops it.
Can you roll deception, please?
I guess we're gonna have to. I knew this was gonna be part of it. Alright,
Let the dice decide,
yeah.
So saith the dungeon master.
Okay. Okay, here goes. 21!
Whoa!
Anne says, "That's a dumb story, Rinaldo."
What does that mean?
I mean, you deceived her in a sense, but like she believes you, what you said is a thing you just said.
Okay. Rinaldo picks his daggers up, puts it in his pockets, and and says, "Okay, Anne." And then he starts to think about it, and he takes like a long time to think about what to do next. And then he takes her by the shoulders and picks her up and says, "Jane's dead! I murdered her! Okay? She was bad the whole time, and she's dead now. I don't know exactly where she is. To be honest, she's kind of all over the place. So," and then he puts her down and says, "That's what's going on. So, you want to go to the twist now?"
Anne just stares at you, mouth agape. Like you just pulled the plug on Anne.
Rinaldo carries Anne over his shoulders like in a fireman's carry, and looks over to Allana and says, "We should go to the twist. and find who is in the basement. What do you think?
Well, considering you just shouted Jane is dead at the top of your lungs, I'm pretty sure people are going to now be looking for you.
No one can hear me. We're on a roof. So...
We're practically in the Phantom Zone.
Right.
Quick aside to two guards standing outside the church. One of them looks to the other and says, "Did you hear that?" Or the second one says, "Hear what?" And the first one says, "I don't know. Sounded like a guy yelling about being Batman."
We interrupt this fantasy noir story to bring you an Abbott and Costello routine.
The second guy says, "Batman? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard." And then the first guy says, "I don't know. Kinda has a ring to it."
Oh, man.
I hate everyone in this call.
Back to the rooftop.
Okay, at this point, Anna's essentially like comatose in your arms.
Yeah.
Her brain doesn't know what to do right now, so I'm going to be out of it for a little bit.
That's cool. Rinaldo says, "All right, this is my plan, and this is the only one I have. We go back to the twist. Allana, I'm gonna need you to go into the twist, find out who's in the basement, and then get that person out, because I can't go in there because they like torturing me, but they know you, and maybe they won't kill you?"
Okay, well, you convinced me to come with you because you told me they were going to kill me.
Yeah.
You also know that your friends maybe just tried to burn a church down, so I feel like that also leans heavily in our favor of them being not trustworthy and also very dangerous.
Yeah, we need to sort of come together on this, because your friends, not great people.
I just work for them.
Right, I'm not, no, I'm not casting any judgments on you. I've done some shit. I'm just saying that,
yes, like murder Jane, yes,
no,
I know.
I self-defended Jane.
That's a theme.
It's an important distinction that Rinaldo likes to make.
I kind of look at you, and then I look at Anne, comatose, and I look at Marshmallow, and I go, I am going to go into the twist.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm going to come back out.
Yeah, we'll just roll those dice.
Literally.
All right, Rinaldo says, okay, and then he tries to, like, very carefully, well, he can't jump. Rinaldo is not Batman, so he can't just jump from rooftops. I don't know if he can really ride.
No, you're too big to ride Marshmallow really effectively in any way.
Rinaldo's a big dude. Okay, then Rinaldo is going to say, okay, then what we're going to have to do is climb down and then slowly make our way back to the twist, like in the shadows. It is night, so, you know.
No, it's morning.
God damn it.
I look at Rinaldo and I said, wait a minute, you fake punched a guy, right?
I fake punched someone, yes.
Do you think you could fake stab yourself?
No. I can only genuinely stab myself.
Okay, can you
I don't have, like, a collapsible knife.
Can you real stab yourself?
Why? Rinaldo looks really upset.
I look at him and I go, well, it's gotta be believable that I escaped from you.
I have a bunch of wounds on my body.
Yeah, but they inflicted those wounds.
Okay.
And I'll even give you, shit, what do I have in my inventory that I can give him that, like, I could actually say that it's my weapon, but I could just stab him with it?
Why do
I have a dagger! I'll just stab him with it!
I'm just saying, why do I need to look bad? You're going in there. They're not going to see me.
Okay, but what I'm saying is if they happen to be following you, they'll see my weapon and they'll be able to corroborate my story. Duh.
Okay. Alright. So what do you want me to do?
Here's my dagger. Stab yourself.
Rinaldo does not like this. At all. Can I how do I put this? Can I very carefully cut myself in a way that doesn't burst an artery and just say I do 1 point of damage?
I will allow it.
Thank you.
I would think a dagger is going to be a D4 because that's.
You shut up, Austin. I'm gonna just back down to 28 and have a convincing wound somewhere.
Add a convincing wound to your inventory.
I will say though is that if you're going for the 1 hit point, it's more a cosmetic wound than a convincing wound.
Fine. Well, I'll just cry a lot if someone looks at me, and I'll make it look worse. I'm good at deception.
That might require a deception roll, but by all means,
I'm good at it.
All right. So you take a hold of the knife and spend an agonizingly long time deciding which part of your body you're going to cut, because every time that you think you've settled on a spot, you're like, but I really like the way those muscles look in the summer sun. Okay, what about over here? Oh, but that frilly blue shirt I have hangs off me so well here. Okay, what about here? Oh, these are my favorite pants. You're a little amazed, Allana, actually, at exactly like how vain his decision on where exactly to cut himself he goes. But he finally settles on a spot and doesn't impress you much.
Okay.
But you get the impression that he's probably not too interested in doing himself any more damage, that like he's reached that point of compromise and it's like that's as far as he's willing to go.
I'd say that's accurate.
That's the best you got.
I'm not gonna mutilate myself.
I'm not asking you to mutilate yourself. I'm just asking you to stab yourself.
I did, and I'm done now.
Okay, I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna be like, give me my knife.
Rinaldo puts the knife down on the ground, and then backs away from it first.
I look at him, and I go, this is how you stab somebody, and I stab my arm.
Ah.
Alright, take 1d4 damage, Jess.
Because I gotta make it look believable. I take 2 damage.
Rinaldo says, "You're gross."
You're a gross?
Suddenly Rinaldo has a problem with bloodshed.
he just finds this objectionable.
I look at him and I say, look, here's the thing. If you look stabbed and I have a stab wound, it's obvious that there was a friggin' fight, and that's how I got away from you. Because they already tortured you. Duh!
Alright.
Just trust me on this.
Fine.
You guys stay on the roof. I'm gonna make my way back to the twist. Come by in I don't know, 2 hours or so.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go try to enlist the help of Silas. And then maybe we'll have a posse by the time we're both done.
Yeah.
That's the plan?
That's Rinaldo's plan, anyway.
My favorite part of this plan is that it splits us up again, which worked out really well the first time. They say stick with what you know and with what works. Don't fix what ain't broken, right? We're taking it to heart as a party, and it's heartening to me. Thank you, everybody.
Man, you've been surly since Jane died. Jeez.
You just blue screened my character.
Okay, I did not blue screen your character.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, Rinaldo tried to do it in a way that was better, but it just didn't work.
You were too deceptive. She thought you were telling a story instead of the truth.
Okay.
Because she's dumb.
Whatever.
I love how we have to keep pointing out that Anne is dumb.
Alright, so fine. Rinaldo then tries to get down from the roof and with his disguise on.
Are you carrying Anne, or did you just leave her on the roof?
He's not leaving Lan alone, so he's going. He and Marshmallow are just gonna have to risk it and go there because he's not leaving them alone.
Are you going down to the streets?
Yep.
Marshmallow is going to stick to the roofs and watch you from above. He's not stupid.
Fine.
Well, he is, but he knows that people are looking for him because Anne told him.
Okay.
All right, roll acrobatics.
I'm also going to roll acrobatics to get down, on the other side of the roof and go a completely different way to the twist.
All right, then I'll do that. Try to get down without breaking my neck. Nope.
Man, we suck it.
Botch.
Okay,
botch.
so Leon.
I rolled a crit fail at 1, but I get +3, so technically it's 4, which is not the worst.
Well, not technically.
A botch overwrites everything the same way a crit does.
Yeah.
Oh my
20
God.
is a success. 1 is a.
Nope.
Yeah.
A 1 is a nope.
So perhaps you were a little deceived by how easy the two ladies made it look.
Yeah.
Jump 2 stories in heavy armor.
And you just sort of like, you sidle up to the building, like, you know, you get your feet on the edge, and as, like, you turn around, and as Allana is scrambling down on the other side of the building, you give her a smirk and an eyebrow look, as if to say, you know, hey, watch this, and just step off the edge of the roof.
Hold my mead.
So, oh boy. This is kind of rough.
Guy, is this where Rinaldo dies?
This is more of a broken ankle situation than a death.
Well,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Because, I mean, how many hit points do you have right now?
I have 28, so...
28. Yeah, so this won't kill you, but it's gonna hurt.
So do I roll D10 or roll what?
2d10, I would assume. Cause...
It's 2d10, because
right.
you basically just stepped off a second-story building, thinking
sure
that, like, you know, you're like, ain't no thing.
I sure did. Okay. God. 12. It's not great, but
All right.
it could be
12
one.
12 is not the end of the world.
Yeah, alright, so then he's at 16.
Jess?
Yeah.
On your way down, you sort of feel like, you know, you lucked out a little bit last time, so you decide to try and, like, get it a little more carefully. You climb down the side of the roof, but it doesn't go well. You get about halfway down and fall. Take 1d10.
Okay. God, I really hope it's not like an 8 or higher.
While you are climbing down, though, you hear an excruciating yelp from the other side of the building, following a loud crash that sounds as though someone who's wearing heavy armor may have hit the ground from, like, you know...
Okay, I take 3.
3 damage, okay.
So I'm at 5 currently.
Yeah, so basically, you know, you just hear this, ah, my ankle, ah, and my other ankle.
Oh my god, did he break him?
I'm not sure what the rules are in 5th edition actually about like broken limbs or anything like that.
Why don't we just say he's a bit fucked up right now?
The DM guide actually has the rules for permanent damage, and they're basically at DM's discretion. If you think something, you know what I'm saying? There's like a little chart you can roll on, but it's up to you. They're very optional.
Let us dispense with it for now, because I don't see any point in rule policing at this point in time. Maybe it's something I'll consider for future. But suffice to say, Rinaldo, you're moving with a very significant limps, plural.
So, actually, I think when Rinaldo jumps off the second story and rolls his gosh dang ankles, he's probably going to drop Anne, right?
There's no way he's going to be able to hold on to her.
You can roll to check. We could roll to check here. Let's see what I think. What I think a good.
That'd be a Constitution saving throw to hold on to her through the pain. Yes.
Oh, I've never done a saving throw.
Yeah, let's say it's a
before.
Constitution saving throw. I like that. That's good.
All right, I've never done one before. Or so here we go. I get +4 to Constitution, so that's good at least.
Yeah.
17.
I'll call that a save.
Okay.
I'll say that's fair.
Rinaldo managed to hold on to her somehow.
If you had done roughly, like, you know, like one of my offhand rules is that if you do half the damage of your current hit points, it's like a totally excruciatingly painful So if you had done like 14,
Yeah.
I would have been like, okay, no, not a chance. But rolling in at a 12 damage, I'll say that you do manage to actually hold on to Anne at the cost of your ankles, because you realize that if you had like after hitting the ground and holding on to Anne, you realize that if you had let go of Anne and maybe absorbed some of that impact in your knees a little bit, it wouldn't have hurt as much.
Okay. Well, this was a great sacrifice and a bold move for Rinaldo, then, in my mind.
Anne notices this, and then a little thing pops up in the corner of the screen that says, Anne will remember this.
That's awesome, actually.
I get your reference, even though I don't play that.
All right. So who do we want to touch on first? We're running out of time here, so I think we'll do a little bit of scene setting for both of you, and then call it off and come back again next week. Is that...
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep. Jess, you want to do your part first?
Sure, I'll go first.
So, being familiar with the city streets, Jess, you managed to make your way back to the Twist with relative ease. It helps also that you're not wanted by the police for any particular reason. In fact, once you get back to the neighborhood, a couple of them who are your regulars are like, "Oh, hey, Allana, how'd your night go?" You know, it's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, only with hookers. So you get back to the Twist, and as it kind of always looks in the morning, because by the time that you get back, actually, it's full morning. The sun has risen. It's day. You can see people starting to, open up stalls and stores and shuffle off to the quarry for work, and et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So almost as always, the morning at the Twist, things actually look pretty quiet. You wouldn't really recognize it as being one of the hottest body night spots in town, but there you go.
All right.
The front door is closed, and the doorman, Cullen, I think his name was, is nowhere to be seen.
If there's a protocol of some kind, I assume I'm going to do the protocol. So...
Normally, you enter in through the front.
Okay, I didn't know if there was, some secret thing between the other prostitutes or whatever, but sure. Okay, I go through the front door.
No, I mean, it stays open for, the most part for, 24 hours a day, but, they usually have a tendency to only put the doorman on, late in the evening and during night, when people have a tendency to imbibe the most and get the most rowdy, so.
Gotcha. Alright, so I'll go in.
Alright. So you haul open the door of the Twist and step inside. And despite the fact that you are immediately confronted with a very particular odor of something that was on the floor previously, you're a little amazed that the place looks as clean as it does. And Cullen is there, on his hands and knees, at a damp spot on the floor, scrubbing a little bit of red away. He hears the door open, and he looks up, and he says, "Good grief, girl, where have you been? We've been worried."
Sorry. The crazy man who was upstairs took me along for a ride, and I finally got away from him. I am sorry.
So he stands up, and he comes over, and he gives you a kind of sort of fraternal hug. He's happy to see you. And he says, "Did that maniac hurt you?"
I hold up my arm, and I show him my wound.
Oh, God, he looks disgusted. He's not really happy with the image of Rinaldo that he has painted in his head. Let me get something to dress that. I swear to God, if I ever get my hands on that guy. And he goes behind the bar and starts rifling through some things and pulls out what would pass for a first aid kit in this place, which is booze, mostly. Which he pours onto one of the cleaner-looking bar rags, and then passes you the bottle, indicating that you should probably take a swig while he attempts to clean the wound.
Okay, I take a swig.
He says, "So, what happened? The last we heard, you'd gone into the room to collect squeak, and then we heard some screams and a little bit of palaver, and then the door went open, and everybody was gone, and Graves was upended in the alleyway."
Is he okay?
His noggin's bumped around a little bit, but we put him to bed, and we think he's probably going to be okay.
Okay, well, The only thing I can really tell you is that he apparently has, friends and that he's working with, I guess. And he hauled me onto the roof of all places and took me across the roof of the city, like the roofs of the city. And finally we stopped on one of the roofs, and finally I had a chance to grab my dagger and I cut him because I figured since you guys, did whatever you did, whatever they did to him upstairs, I might have a chance of escaping since he was already hurt. So, but before I could go, he did this, and I gestured to my arm. But I guess he fell off the roof because as I was escaping, I heard him yell. So I decided to make a run for it.
Do you have any idea what he wanted? I mean, fella just shows up here last night, dances, puts on a great show for all the crowd, and then just murders that woman in cold blood. What a lunatic. Like, what do people like that even want?
I don't know. I really don't. I was so... I was so confused, and I had no idea what was going on. And, I have dealt with customers who have decided to get a little rough, but never like that. Like, never that bad. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wish I had something to tell you guys, but unfortunately, I'm so shaken up still. I'm sorry. I just ran here because I thought that, this is the safest place I know.
Well, I'm sure that Tamsin and Quits are going to be really glad to hear that you're back with us. They've been asking about you all morning since you disappeared, so they're not here right now.
Oh.
But everybody will be happy to know that you're okay.
Oh, am I in trouble?
Nobody said anything to me, but everybody's been really tense lately. I mean, the bosses have a big thing going down tonight, I think, actually. And everybody's really on edge.
Yeah, I got that. That guy who took me, what was his name? Do you even remember his name?
I think before he started all the trouble, he yelled, "Everybody do the Rinaldo."
Rinaldo? Okay.
That's gonna be your legacy.
Whatever. Okay, so if this Rinaldo guy, I don't even know why they had him upstairs in our room, but...
The murder? I think it was the murder.
Obviously, whatever he knows is of value to Quips and Tamsin, and I think that, if he didn't tell me anything, but maybe, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on, but I'm just happy to be home.
Well, we're glad to have you back. Make yourself at home. I gotta clean this mess up before the bosses come back, and like I said, I'm sure they'll be really, really pleased to see you.
Yeah, I'll be in my room if you need me.
All right. Cullen gets back on his hands and knees, takes a swig of the bottle before he goes back to the stain on the floor, which is significantly smaller than when you last saw it.
Right.
And is that it? Are you going to go retire to your room for the moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna basically go upstairs, put my stuff back where it belongs, and I'm going to settle Squeak down. And are the girls asleep, or are they still on edge, wondering where I am?
No, everybody, the adrenaline rush from all the noise that happened the night before has kind of worn off and left everybody a little bit drained. So the place is quite quiet. Anybody who usually sleeps there is more or less asleep there, with the exception of Cullen downstairs.
Okay, then I guess I'm going to take this opportunity to at least sleep until Tamsin or Quips comes to wake me up.
So much for be back in 2 hours.
All right, so then we're going to take the camera and refocus it now from the twist to a very, very apprehensive Rinaldo with a halfling slung over his shoulder that's got a horrified look on her face.
All right, I just want to say that Ronaldo switches Anne's position from fireman's carry to, I don't know officially what it's called, but it's the way Superman held Supergirl on the front of Crisis on Infinite Earths. That hold.
Are you talking about like in front of you?
Yeah.
Like La Pieta?
Is that what it's called?
Like about to cross the threshold.
I usually just call it Superman holding Supergirl. But yeah, that works too. So Rinaldo holds on to Anne because she's still wonked out or something, and he has his Groucho's glasses on, and he tries to make his way toward the Lord's Manor.
All right. So you come within sight of the front gate of the Lord's Manor, and almost immediately when you get within eyesight of it, you do notice too that there's a ridiculous amount of guards around it at this point in time.
Hold on, if Rinaldo sees there's a ridiculous amount of guards around it, he doesn't go that close.
Okay, all right.
Listen, Rinaldo is, he's many things. Suicidal is not one of them.
Yeah.
How close are you getting here? What's the plan?
As soon as he sees that there's some shit, he starts walking in the other direction and trying to find a place to hide.
He veers hard like he just saw an X in the supermarket.
Okay, so we're talking the goose that walks out of the door in that Witcher 3 GIF that's going around.
I don't know what that is, but okay, if that helps.
Grandpa Simpson wandering into the
That one.
Oh my god, yes!
All right.
Yeah. Too bad we can't make GIFs the title card, because perfect.
Okay, so with a whistle and everything, you spin about face 180 degrees on a dime and just keep walking as if you're just like, halfling for sale. Anybody want to buy a halfling? As if you belong in the area.
Golly gee willikers, did I leave that oven on? I gotta go check. Oh shucks.
Okay, and so you're looking for a place to hide, you say?
Yeah,
or...
I need a place to hide so I can briefly try to wake up Anne and talk to her.
All right. So you managed to tuck yourself into a little nook or cranny, if you prefer, between shops. That's hidden from view, has a decent amount of shade. You're sort of feeling that it might be a nice place to have a flash mob restaurant, even though you don't know what that is. You're like, yeah, this would work.
All right, so he pulls me into some shady area. Right now, since he screamed in Anne's face, she's been in her mind palace, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, I don't know really how to describe her mental process. She's basically just overwhelmed by all the stimuli, the intellectual and emotional stimuli, and is trying to shut down.
Right.
At this point, she basically has enough, because Rinaldo sacrificed his ankles for her. She's lucid enough. So she basically is thinking to herself, all my friends are getting hurt and everything's so scary and I don't know what's going on. I just need help. Avandra, please just give me a sign or a single word, anything. Please, I need something. Johnny?
Yep.
You are Avandra. You don't have to answer, but
Lightning strikes.
In Dungeons and Dragons, gods are real. They exist.
I recognize this.
You can visit them. I'm just saying, if Avandra does not answer, just you can tell me that.
You do not get an answer. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But it does suddenly, it kind of hits home to you for sort of a brief second that ever since you got into this mess, you feel like your connection with your god has been stretched tight, as though you've gone from being kind of directly tied to Avandra to sort of being on the end of a kite string. There's an increased distance, and you feel that there's something, there's a response hanging in the wind that's kind of waiting for you, but that something is getting in the way of it reaching you.
Okay, so there's interference. Vandra's going through a tunnel.
You feel you feel something, and it's not necessarily a response, but you feel a presence.
Okay,
and it's not a happy one.
Okay, so there's dark juju. Is Rinaldo doing anything?
Yeah, I'm basically snapping my fingers in front of Anne's eyes, and I'm saying, "Wake up, wake up."
So over the course of the next couple of minutes, while Anne's gaze is still a little bit glazy, her mouth very slowly begins to close.
Okay, when it looks like Anne is starting to move her face again, I say, "Anne, look, I really am sorry about Jane. I wouldn't have killed her if she didn't try to get me sold into sex slavery. That's basically a death sentence too. We had a fight, and I won, and that's the truth. Okay? The truth is, she stood on a balcony, and she said, and she sent like three people to grab me and basically end what is now my life. So all I did was, okay, you want the play-by-play? I'll just be straight with you. I threw stuff in her eyes. I pushed her over. I whipped around in a really cool arc, and she turned into a cat, and I killed the cat, and she turned into a human, and I killed the human. And I am sorry that she died, because she helped us out a little in the beginning. But you know what? She turned on us, and I don't know why. So we need to stick together, because we're the only ones left in the original party. All right?
Anne's hand slowly reaches up, and she puts it on the side of Rinaldo's face, gently. And she says, "When I was a cleric for Yandala, they said that being good was doing whatever Yandala said, and being evil was doing the opposite. Evandra says being good is helping people, and being evil is only thinking about yourself. Rinaldo, I think you might be evil."
I have done some good things along the way. Remember? Like, all the times I've saved you, and mostly related to you, actually. I've stood in front of you a bunch of times to stop bad people from either accusing you of things or attacking you. I held you on my shoulders and broke my feet for you, and I've done all kinds of things for you. It's only Jane who's turned on us. I've been good to you, alright? So it's not just about me. Also, if this were just about me, I would be gone by now. I don't have any skin in this game. Fuck this town. But I'm sticking around because I want to do, and then he sort of struggles with his words because he's not really sure, something. Okay?
With her hand still on your cheeks, he says, "Did Jane have to die?" And before you can answer, she casts command on you. You're going to need a wisdom save against 14.
Did she have to die? Is this so he
No, I'm going to, the command she's going to give is the same one she gave in like episode 2, which is confess.
Oh, okay. Wisdom save. So I have to get what do I have to get here?
You have to hit 14 or higher.
Okay. And this is wisdom, so I don't get any like fancy things. Modifiers. All right. 12. Okay.
Nope, you gotta confess.
Yeah, you failed. You now need to give me the God's honest truth of that.
She needed to be stopped, and then Rinaldo isn't really sure what else to say.
That's a yes or no question, brah. Anne stares you down and summons her holy light into her hand and looks you in the eyes and commands you with the Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, but Rinaldo feels like she really did in order to ensure his safety.
If that's what you feel in your heart of hearts, then you can say that. I'm just letting you know that you are now Jedi mind trick compelled to answer honestly.
Yeah, that's what he says.
And you know the gods don't like liars, Leon, right? Well, some of them do.
Depends on your god.
Rinaldo says... Is this literally has to say yes or no? Because in Rinaldo's mind, the real answer is she needed to be stopped.
Johnny, I mean, you're the magic arbiter. Would that satisfy the requirements of the spell?
It depends precisely on how you're just saying confess?
Confess is the command. The question, but she said before, does Jane need to die? And then she commanded confess.
You gotta answer that question specifically, Leon.
Okay. I'm trying to get into Rinaldo's mind about what he really thinks about this. No. But.
Nope. As soon as you say no, Anne's hand flares a sacred fire, and she burns a hand-shaped mark onto your face. She burns your face, dog.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
This is happening. Are we about to do a party wipe?
No, she's not gonna. No, look, actually, that's what happens. So her hand flares, you go, ah, and you back up. And then she puts her hand down.
And then Rinaldo says, but...
Ow! Can Rinaldo say ow?
Yeah, he says, ow! But then Rinaldo says, but if I let her live, she would have come after me and killed me. She joined, I don't know, the bad guys, okay? And that's what you do, kill bad guys. So I killed a bad guy. And it felt like it was the right thing to do at the time. In the sense, did she have to die, or else I would have died immediately? No. But eventually, yes. She would have gotten up and stabbed me in the crotch until I bled out. That's what would have happened. That's genuinely what I think would have happened.
And basically ignores everything you just said and says, there are bad people and we need to stop them, and I'll help you do that. That's all that matters now. You'll have a reminder for the rest of your life of what happened. Avandra won't forget. And it's not like I haven't fucking two-faced you. It's like it looks like you have a hand-shaped sunburn, maybe a little worse. You know what I'm saying? But it's magic, so I don't know. I assume you would need magic to remove it.
Okay. Rinaldo looks like he's about to reach for his weapons, but he stops himself because he actually likes Anne too much. But he's like shaking because he does not like being hurt without there being some kind of retribution. Then he sort of like walks over to her, but gently because he can barely still walk. And he says, okay, so they know they're after me. They might not be after you. So maybe it would be easier if you go over there and try to get Silas's attention so he can come join us. Okay?
I can try.
Alright.
Next time on Dice Funk.
So after investigating the 18th mug in this room filled entirely with ceramics, you do wonder, why are they all filled with pistachios?
Allana just gets up in the middle of the night and looks at Squeak and says, I gotta get better friends, man.
Cheer up, Rinaldo. It's like a tattoo. I think you look handsome.
Rinaldo looks in a mirror, looks at his new mark, and then notices that there's writing on it, but backwards. And it says, milk, cheese, laundry.
As always, our theme song is A Fistful of Nickels, the overclocked remix arrangement of Shadow's theme from Final Fantasy VI. Executive producers for Dice Funk for the month of February 2016 are Joseph Timbrello, Ingmar Gremin, The Cult of Gorfanax, Michael Goodell, Wayne Witzke, Brent, Jason, Eric Kimball, Harrison Andrew, Luke Powers, Phoenix Mod, Jade, Kevin Seidlow, Tarka, Jacques Lindsay, Jorit, Viger Arnston, Giorgio Renna, Christopher Charlo, Cody Jackson, August Rue, and Taylor Hoyt. If you want to support the show, there are a number of ways to get the word out, whether you comment on Channel Awesome, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Podbean, or rate us on iTunes. If you want to help more directly, you can find Leon at patreon.com/renegadecut. You can find Jess at patreon.com/ravenalegria13. And you can find me at patreon.com/Austin Yorsky. If you'd like to support Johnny, make an offering of your firstborn son to the full moon. After a fortnight passes,
The ritual will commence.
This episode of Dice Funk is partially sponsored by the makers of the Blade Bunny comic, now available for pre-order at buy.bladebunny.com or at your local comic book shop with the order code FEB161116. They gave money to people like you, so you should buy their stuff. No druids are harmed in the making of this ad. That's more than some people can say.